correspondence. Vanessa, would you like to give your report?
Absolutely. Hello, CSSAC commissioners. I hope that you're doing well and staying dry in this unexpectedly cold winter weather. I first want to start my report by mentioning that the Pride Center, the Department of Neighborhood's Pride Center, is rebranding. So the Pride Center is a location where liaisons are based across town. It also houses code enforcement officers, 311 representatives. The mayor's office has requested that commissioners discuss the recommendations, the design recommendations are before you today, a hard copy, and that you vote on your top recommendation so that I can go ahead and pass it along to the department for consideration. I hope that, you know, if they're really to have one top recommendation, so just one single design with the name and logo that you would like to put forth as a commission's top choice, rather than two. So I wanted to offer that space now, or, you know, if the chair wants to wait into that, we can do that as well.
We can do that. We can wait till your report is completed.
Oh, sounds good. So thank you for all of those that attended the Area Commission 101 training. It was very well attended. Glad to see some CSSAC commissioners there on February 28th. A new Area Commission handbook was released during that commission training. This is a handbook that guides new commissioners or current commissioners on best practices. I have requested hard copies for all CSSAC commissioners, so those will be going to print in the next batch. So you have a hard copy of that handbook on hand. In the meantime, I am going to send out an electronic handbook so you have that as a reference. The handbook does include some addendums so that there's sample forms for how to organize your budget, or appointment forms that can be included when a commissioner is appointed or reappointed. The next commission training is on planning, variance, and rezoning, and it'll take place on Wednesday, April 29th at 111 North Front Street, the second floor computer lab. And again, participation is voluntary but highly recommended and encouraged. As it relates to area commission purchases, the fiscal team has asked that all area commissions make their purchases ahead of an April 10th deadline. So I would encourage any purchase amounts to be approved at this commission meeting so that they can be made ahead of that April 10th deadline. I did place a print shop order for the commission for business cards as well as hot cards that advertise at area commission can be utilized to distribute at outreach events, canvassing events. I did find out that the print shop does not make name tag purchases, so that will need to be purchases approved by the commission, discussed and approved by the commission today, and I will have to find another vendor to make that name tag purchase for Stephanie Warner Wilkins. I have also gone ahead and created an Amazon account for the area commission. I will work with Commissioner Belvis to add the treasurer, essentially his account, his email to the account. This Amazon account is tax exempt and it will allow the commission to make purchases through Amazon. My understanding as well is that the commission will consider purchasing cameras for illegal dumping sites, and so the cameras that have been recommended are from Amazon.
And the buckets and the pickers for National Civic needs to be in there.
Yeah, so that can be something that's discussed today at the commission meeting, and I can go ahead and make the purchase once there's an approval for the buckets. Or has there already been an approval for an amount?
There was an original approval, but the price has gone up, so we were going to revisit it.
How many more do you need, Monty?
15 is what I requested.
How many did you get?
None.
You haven't received any?
No. Every area commissioner got 5, I believe, in the first round.
Okay.
And then another 10 were given for businesses on Lockbourne, I believe.
Okay.
So that particular area's gotten 15 so far.
And you say 15, that's the businesses plus the district.
The Civic got 5.
Right. Okay.
Originally. All Civics got 5.
So you're saying you need 10 more, is that what I'm hearing?
15 more, because I have to cover all of our also.
So I think,
There's a bunch of businesses over there that I see trash.
Yeah, but are those businesses, have they requested them or will they use them? This is what, you know.
let's
is it
hold
to
this for the
support?
treasurer's report.
All right,
Yeah.
that's fine.
I would like to extend an invitation for commissioners to also attend a zoning webinar that's coming up with the city's hosting for area commissioners and major civics. It'll host this event March 31st to talk about the next phase of zoning. March 31st, 6:30 on WebEx. And the conversation will be about zoning phase 2, economic and housing opportunity. So commissioners will have an opportunity to ask questions about this next phase, share commentary, as well as feedback. And that again is virtual. Again, I will follow up following the commission meeting with all of these updates and the link for registration. There is a new park coming to the far south side, the Great Southern Metro Park. Many of you were here for the presentation regarding the Metro Park, and I wanted to extend that invite for the opening on April 1st at 4 p.m. I'm going to pass along some flyers. There will be tram rides, carnival activities, a hot air balloon. Would love to see some South Bay representation there. Eventually, the park will connect with the downtown Scioto Mile or Scioto Park. Yes, Scioto Park. Trail, Scioto Park Trail. And so it's soft launch. You're welcome to already go and visit. There's an outdoor obstacle course. Where people can work out. There's a little bit of trails. There's a playground that will be installed as well as benches. Some of the prairies you might notice when you arrive are in progress and still developing. And then my last update is regarding the measles outbreak. Please take care and spread the word regarding the measles outbreak. There are 6 confirmed cases in Columbus. Contact Columbus Public Health if you or someone you know has measles. Symptoms include fever, rash all over body, red watery eyes, tiny white spots in mouth, and make sure that children are up to date with their measles, mumps, rubella vaccine.
If you were vaccinated before 1967, which I was, you may no longer be immune. So I had the test to test my immunity, and I was not fully immune, so I got a booster. You can get a booster without getting the test, so if you're over at a certain age, 60, let's say, you might want to think about getting a measles booster.
Also, if you got your original in the 80s, there was a period of a couple years where they were doing a single shot instead of double shot, and so that was not as effective either. And you can get tested for immunity if you need the booster.
Thanks for sharing. Good information.
Yes.
And I think Kroger might give some of those free.
I believe so, yeah.
I got mine for free.
Yeah.
Yes, and kids 12 months and older can receive the vaccine.
And you want to go ahead now with this piece? Are there any questions for Vanessa?
So I think what we talked about was everyone gets to vote for their first pick, and then we will have a runoff of the top 2. And I think we should number them, let's number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3 on the left, 4, 5, 6 on the right.
We have another absolutely.
So you want to do show of hands?
Yes.
All right, so let's do show of hands for,
Well, before we do that,
Yeah.
From Vanessa, I want to get the Department of Neighborhoods. What is the goal here? Is the goal here more to focus on that it's the Neighborhood Partnership Center, or that it's part of the Department of Neighborhoods?
That's a good question.
yes, I think they're both. Department of Neighborhoods is on all of them.
Well, no, I'm just saying that one is bolded, and the other one appears not to be bolded.
Yeah, I don't believe that when these were presented, there was a preference for either, emphasis on the Department of Neighborhoods. You know, these were reviewed by the director.
Yes.
And so from what I understand, she's fine with if any of these are selected. So whether it's
Alright.
emphasized that it's the Department of Neighborhoods or not, they did want to make sure that Andrew Ginther, mayor, was part of the logo.
Right.
And I do want to also add context that one of the reasons it's being rebranded is, you know, for clarity of the purpose, clarity on the purpose of the Pride Center. There are many residents that have an affiliation between Pride and LGBTQ plus rights, and so they want to make sure there's a distinction between those two, you know, those two things, as well as just like clarity as to the work that the Pride Center does and consults do.
Well, where's this Pride Center at?
So this is my office at the Reed Center.
Oh,
So
that's
there
what
were
they're
liaisons
calling the
on.
Pride, okay.
Yeah, so and some liaisons are housed at police substations. Those are still considered Pride centers. So essentially wherever the liaison is. Some of them are utilized for community programming, for resident meetings as well.
So, ready for vote?
Yes.
Everybody knows their favorite? All right, so again, one on the top left. If you're in favor of number one, raise your hand. Okay, one, you're recording these, Rachel?
Wait, there's one? Did you? Oh,
Just me, yeah. All right, number two. Who's in favor of number two? Number three. 2, 3. Okay, number 4. 1. Number 5. Number 6. 3, 4, 5. Well, that's almost a majority as it is.
The second round?
That's the first round.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was in the first round.
All right.
Wait, how many for 6? Was it 6?
Well, you can scratch mine, I didn't even notice number 6.
Okay, so
So
1,
I'm just
2,
putting large print.
3.
And Monty withdrew her vote for 4 or whatever it was.
Okay.
So we had 5, so that's a majority, so we don't have to take a second vote.
So 6 is the clear winner.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
That's our recommendation. Thank you. All right. I don't believe there are any public presentations. So we'll go on to zoning standing committee. Kathy?
Thank you. We have 3 zoning variance applications to hear this evening. The first is BZA 26002, Andy Angelo. Is the applicant 522 East Sycamore. Let me bring up the zoning report real quick. Okay. Nope, sorry. So this is a residential property in the Schumacher Place Civic Association neighborhood, and the proposal is to build a secondary unit, not a dwelling unit per se, and it would be on the property. Sorry, I'm bringing up the notes from. Okay, here we go. Okay, there we go. All right, so we approve existing conditions. So we're looking at the top 4 variances. One is a parking reduction from 2 spaces to 1. The next one is to reduce the minimum side yard from 3 foot to 0.67 feet, which matches the existing dwelling. The third one is to reduce the total combined side yards from 6 feet to 3.17 feet, which is the same as the main dwelling, which is existing, and then to increase the rear yard lot coverage from 45% to 54%. And I think some of you, I think if we're sharing maybe, have access to this. But you can kind of see on the site plan, the main house has a nice side yard, a patio, and then this proposed unit here, and then a covered car parking space. Thank you. Okay. Schumacher Place voted to approve all variances 10-0. The zoning committee voted to approve all variances 9-0-1. We did have a suggestion to move the garage a little bit further in from the side yard line, just to give a little bit more access for maintenance and, if the next door neighbor wanted to do something on their side of the lot. But that person still approved the variances as is.
What was the zoning committee vote?
9-0-1.
Okay.
So what questions do you have for the applicant? Rachel?
What will you use the non-residential unit for?
So, we're about to have a baby, me and my wife, and we just don't have enough storage anywhere. It's a 2-bedroom house. And it would be a fitness center 99% of the time, but in the chance that the, in-laws or parents come down, we would put, it's got a shower, bathroom in there, small little bathroom, small little kitchenette, and a Murphy bed, so that they have a place to stay.
Okay, does that fit under that new thing that they came up with where you can build a house in the backyard for your
It
grandchildren?
did. It did. If prior to that code change, which was passed in December, it would have required a council variance because it would have been a separate building, 2 buildings on the lot, but with the changes, it reduces the variances that are required to these 4. Like we had 13, I think, for our ADU. He has 6 technically. And it's BZA, it will be scheduled for BZA next week. Any other questions?
So basically, you can use it to put everything in.
All right, seeing none, I move to approve.
I'll second.
Thank you, Tom. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? All right, so that's 5-9-0. All right, Andy, you can stay, but you don't need to, and I will email the recommendation form. Okay.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Good luck with that baby.
All right, our next application is another BZA variance. This is 25-172. The address that's been given to it is 2033 Ellsworth Avenue. Does not currently exist. Jose is here representing the applicant, and his partner Mike is also in attendance. So this parcel is within the zone in phase 1 category. So it's in the UGN 1 zoning category, I believe. So you'll see the code numbers represent the new part of the code. And because of the way this lot is, if you bring up the site plan, Tom.
Yeah, sorry, this one's taking a minute to load.
Yeah. So Ellsworth, so this is off of Innis. Technically, the address is off of Innis Avenue, east of Lockbourne. And then it'll be Ellsworth Avenue currently dead ends on Innis, coming down from the north. It will be extended into the parcel here. So this is oops, throwing pens at Jim. Okay. This is what Ellsworth will be coming down. Like it currently runs north of Ennis, and it'll come down into this property. This property, if you're on Lockbourne, just north of Marion Road, is where the Dollar General. It's behind the Dollar General. In fact, we met behind the Dollar General because then you can see it happens to be a very large green space back there, as you can see. The proposal, there's no use variance, so this will be shared living for boys between the ages of 12 and 18. And each of the residential buildings are duplexes, so 2-story duplexes, and they will have room for 5 to 7 boys plus staff. So 24-hour staff coverage at the level that the state requires. And then there's, let's see, this is an administrative building, okay? And there'll be some, this isn't the current site plan though, right?
Correct.
This is the old one.
most recent
So
piece.
if you go back to the zoning website, there was an amended site plan, but it's not that different. Okay. All right.
Okay, is the, administration building in that first phase? Cause you told me just this.
No, it's both.
One residential building and an administrative building.
Yep.
Okay, so the multi-purpose building and the,
No, the one, the cottage, and then, yep.
okay, all right, thank you. All right, so the variances, because of the way this lot is shaped, we had this with the West Barthman zoning variances, if you all remember. Because the street comes into basically the side of the property, the facade requirements that are in the code don't really apply. So the first variance is to reduce the facade coverage from 75% to 65%. The code currently requires us 80%, 75% opacity
Correct.
fence.
It's on the handout.
Yeah.
First page of the handout.
And the goal is to put a 6-foot privacy fence at 100% opacity between the neighbors on the south side and on the east side.
Correct, yeah, it is 85%.
85, okay, and this will be 100%. So there's two variances around that. One because of landscape buffer and one because of headlight screening.
Correct, yeah, because one applies to the residential side on the east side and one applies to the commercial on the south side.
Okay. And then the last variance is to reduce the setback from 10 foot to 2 foot, and again, that's to put the fence closer to the property line.
Correct, yeah.
But there's still quite a bit of space between it and
Yes.
any adjacent uses.
Yes.
So the variances are fairly simple. Vanessa was kind enough to schedule a meeting with the applicant, which is Fly House. They currently have an existing facility on Oak Street in the Old Town area. And so we did have a meeting. Jose and Mike were there, plus the property owner, plus Tyra and her staff.
When was this meeting held?
3 weeks ago, I think. Star House, Boys and Girls Club, Faces.
Why wasn't I notified?
Well, so this is in the Innis Gardens Civic Association meeting, and so
I'm a
this meeting,
commissioner and I need information.
this meeting was put together on behalf of Cassandra Patterson and the Innis Gardens Civic at their request. And that it really has nothing to do with the variances. The variances are specific to the code, not the use. Again, there's no use variance required. So what questions do you have for the applicant?
I guess, what are the criteria for the boys that will be housed?
So, the program is essentially a long-term solution to what is sort of a broken foster system. So, in order to stop the cycle of passing these boys around, Tyra has set up a program, Fly House, as a final destination where there are no 30-day notices for evictions. When you're there until you're 18 and legally emancipated. And that's the whole mission of the Fly House program. She could tell you in depth.
Criteria for the boys, yeah,
Yeah.
essentially is that they've set up the program on Oak Street as a prototype, and she'd be more than willing to explain it more in depth, and as she did at the Innis Garden meeting, she explained in depth that they look for specific youth that they can definitely house with the therapist they have on staff, the current training that they have on, the security that they have on hand, everyone that can help to create a safe space for the youth and also the staff in the neighborhood altogether. So this is kind of a oiled machine that she's developed over the last 15 to 18 years of her career, with Oak Street being the proof, I guess, in some words of this criterion.
And when you say she, who are you talking about?
Tyra Martin, she's the founder and owner of Fly House.
She's the one that holds the state licensing. She's a licensed social worker as well.
Okay, thank you.
And I do think it would be helpful to have her when we get closer to this being done, which will be some time.
Yeah.
Let's see, the Innis Garden Civic Association unanimously approved the variances. The zoning committee voted to approve the variances, 8 yes, 3 no, and 1 abstention.
Okay, when was this vote taken by Innis Garden?
It was, I think they meet on the 3rd Thursday of the month. So that was in February. And Cassandra called me after.
Okay, bylaw said 45 days and this was put out in December.
Let's see.
We were one day past the date and was killed.
All right, so we received on December 29th. The civic vote deadline was February 12th, which was after our zoning committee meeting in February. So Cassandra asked for an extension and it was granted. That's the policy that we adopted after the last.
Right.
Okay, is that in writing somewhere?
It is, it's posted on our website in the zoning bylaws. Addendum, the addendum D or B or whatever, yeah. All right, if there are no other questions, I move to approve. Thank you, Joel. All those in favor? Please do hands this time if you don't mind, except for Rachel. Are you a yes?
Yeah.
Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8. Any no's? 1 no, and no abstentions. All right. I'll fill out the SRF and send it to you and to the zoning staff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to us.
Appreciate it. All right, our next zoning application is Council Variance 26019, which is 1111 East Stewart Avenue. Jordan Henderson, representing the applicant, which is Healthy Neighborhoods, Healthy Families. Gretchen West is here as well. This is the former Corpus Christi church site. Nationwide Children's, if you all remember, acquired this site from the diocese. As part of that land purchase, they were required to demolish the church, which has happened. They are also required, due to long-term contracts, to retain the cell phone antenna. That was approved in legislation in 2015. So those variances are being carried forward with this application, but they are an existing condition, so we will not be discussing that part of the application, which is when Jordan goes over it will be area C. Tom, could you bring up on the website, did I put it on the website? No, here, let me present, if that's all right. Let me bring up Jordan's slides.
If you want to forward them to me, I can also bring them up too.
All right, let me just forward it to you. But we have them in paper form. Jordan, why don't you just give a quick introduction of the actual project?
Sure. Well, good evening, Commissioners. My name is Jordan Henderson. I'm here on behalf of Healthy Homes and Nationwide Children's Hospital. Thank you for the opportunity this evening. As Kathy outlined, the Nationwide Children's Hospital purchased the former Corpus Christi site in July of last year. The Diocese of Columbus approached us after having closed the parish in 2023 with a desire to see it redeveloped with affordable housing. So we completed the sale last year. We demolished the church, as was mentioned, which was a condition of the sale. And the intent is to redevelop it with a mixed-use community, or a mixed-income community that consists of affordable rental opportunities and affordable home ownership opportunities. We tried to take a really thoughtful approach in designing the site, thinking about the increased demand for affordable housing, also the existing fabric of the community. So for the site plan that's included in your packets, if you would flip to slide 4, that probably is the best illustration of it. We're contemplating a 2-phase redevelopment of this project. The first phase would be a rental phase, including 100 units spread across 5 buildings, a 3-story building that fronts Lockbourne Road, and 4 2-story townhomes in the center of the site.
Can you say that again?
Yes.
100 units of rental?
Correct. 80 units in a 3-story building that would front Lockbourne Road, and 4 townhome buildings spread across the center of the site.
Thank you.
All right, so if you bring up slide 4, Tom.
So if you could skip to slide 4, please. There you go. Thank you.
Okay, so I think these are the different phases that we're going to be talking about the variances. So again, the cell phone tower itself is excluded from conversation because it's already approved. And then we'll be discussing this rental phase piece and then the home ownership piece. Okay,
So the area outlined in purple would be the rental phase, and the area outlined in green consists of 10 single-family homes, which will be for sale. Again, the 100 rental units will be spread across 5 buildings. The other thing that we tried to do is incorporate a lot of green space. So there's a meditation garden, there's a center green that will just be accessible to the residents, and then there will be a playground as well. We've also reconnected the site. There will be a connection that aligns virtually with Studer Avenue, and that creates one-way traffic going through the site so that we can control the pace of the traffic flows. And then the last connection will be a new private drive, which will function as an alley and service both the renters and the future homeowners.
Which does affect the variances slightly.
Correct. So overall, we're talking 110 units and 145 parking spaces total. 125 of which would be attributed to the rental phase.
Go ahead and advance to the next slide. So this is a rendering.
So these are preliminary elevations. This is the 3-story building on Lockbourne Road at the corner of Lockbourne and Stewart. And then the next slide. And this is preliminary design of the anticipated townhome units in the center of the site.
And we are assured that the 10 single-family homes will be not all the same. So they will have
elevations of those as well.
Yeah. At the very last slide, I think it is. Next slide.
So yes, 10 single-family homes that will be 3 beds, 1.5 to 2 bathrooms each, roughly 1248 to 1394 square feet each. Full basements, garages, and fenced yards. These will be developed in partnership with the Central Ohio Community Land Trust. So we will act as the developer, and the trust will handle the sale to eligible buyers. Each of these lots will be 32 to 38 feet in width and 144 feet deep. All of these homes will front Linwood Avenue.
Yeah, so let's talk about the variances. If you go back to the site plan just a minute. So let's start with area B because it's this most straightforward, I think, perhaps. So there are 4 variances required. As Jordan mentioned, the minimum lot width is, the smallest is 32 feet, and the code requires 50 feet. As you all know, we often have this variance because on the south side, our lot sizes are rarely, much larger than 25 to 30 feet width. So that's the first variance. The second variance is to reduce the required lot size from 5,000 square feet to a calculated 3,072 square feet. Although the actual size is around 4,500, but the way the code is written, you don't get full credit. And then there are setbacks on the sides on Stewart and Deschler to be 5 feet, not 25 feet, which again is not normal. I mean, 25 feet wouldn't be normal on the south side. And then the last one is, again, as Jordan mentioned, the shared driveway is actually considered to be part of
The rental phase?
the rental phase, but it is the access road for the driveways. So there's a maneuvering variance from 20 foot to 7 feet, but in fact, it has the full 20 feet. It's just using the driveway that's shared with the rental. Does that make sense?
Is that can be publicly designated right away at the end, or?
It will be retained as a private drive because we will be running private stormwater infrastructure through the alley, and that will prohibit us from dedicating the back to the site.
Yeah, all the stormwater has to be retained for the site. And I did see Wolpert's name on some of the drawings. But I assume it wasn't you. Okay. All right, so any questions on area B and the single family homes? All right, then area C has 7 variances.
Area C is the cell tower.
Oh, sorry, A, sorry, yes. C is the cell tower, A. A is the 80 in the 3-story building plus 20 in the townhomes. All right, so the first variance is to permit the 100 unit buildings in an R4 zoning district versus rezoning. So it'll retain the R4 until August when zone in phase 2 gets passed, and then it's going to get something else, but that is in the future. So currently it's R4, 100 units in an R4. That's the first variance. The second variance is again building setback lines. So on Stewart and Deschler, it'll be 8 foot and 5 foot. And then on Lockbourne, it will be 0 foot versus the 50 feet, which the code requires. But in fact, there's a 60-foot right-of-way on Lockbourne Road. So from the center of the road to what this 0 foot setback is actually 30 feet. Does that make sense? Okay. The building height, it's in a 35-foot height zone. It is going to be allowed to be 42 feet for the 3-story building, not for the others, but for the 3-story building. Not to provide parking lot screening or setback along the shared driveway.
Correct.
Because there's parking spaces, basically. And it faces garages, so. And then required parking, again, there's 100 rental units. There's going to be 125 parking spaces, but the code currently requires 150.
Correct.
So it's a parking reduction from 150 to 125. And then the last is to reduce division clearance at the corners of Lockbourne and Deschler and Lockbourne and Stewart from 30 by 30 to 8 by 8 and 2 by 2. Again, there is still that 30-foot right-of-way. It was recommended for approval in the city staff review report. District 4 voted to approve all variances, 16 yes, no no's. The zoning committee voted to approve all variances, 12 yes, 0 no.
Can you say that again? Deschler, was it Deschler?
District 4.
District 4.
12 yes, no no's, and the zoning committee was 12 yes. Sorry, 16 yes for District 4, 12 for zoning. I do have a letter from the Edgewood Civic Association president that he has asked me to read. Due to my being ill for the last 2 days, I would like to send this letter of support for the above council variance. As you and others are aware, the former Corpus Christi Church is no longer a vibrant part of the community and is sorely missed. As our Columbus bishop entered into an agreement to transfer the property to Nationwide Children's under strict conditions in order to transfer the property, they were met and the building is no longer a part of the community skyline. With that condition, change has become a part of our neighborhood. Change is not easily accepted, but just as families grow and move away and we wish them best wishes, we welcome new families and friends into our circle. Variances are the condition of change of which we become participants, bringing diversity, inclusivity, and safer communities with an ever-growing Columbus. To that extent, Mr. Jordan Henderson of Healthy Homes has met with community members and groups to share the vision. As the Commission is aware, during the March 10th, 2026 variance public presentation, after Q&A of over an hour, a vote was tabulated of those present and a unanimous vote for the above council variance was voiced, recorded, and sent to the zoning chair. Accept my apologies, accept my and the Edgewood Civic vote for the above. We concluded that Nationwide Children's Hospital is a good neighbor and not an out-of-state LLC having no commitment to the residents of the South Side. Respectfully, Ted Welch. Questions? I guess the one comment that was made, and I think it flowed from the District 4 meeting, was around traffic. So you're still in conversations with traffic management about whether a traffic study might be required or not. There was some concerns raised about access to CODA and crosswalks, things of that nature across Lockbourne. I did forward that information to Wayne and to Justin Soltez, the public service co-chairs, and honestly, CODA doesn't go up that part of Lockbourne. It actually turns at Phoebus and goes up Champion. The closest CODA stop is actually at Whittier and Studer, which is only about a 3-minute walk from this facility, or you can walk west to Champion. Currently. Obviously CODA makes changes all the time, but that's the current state of affairs. There is a crosswalk on the south side of Deschler, across Lockbourne, but it's just a marked crosswalk. It's not beaconed or there's no stop signs or any of that. But there is concern as we add 3 and 4 bedroom homes, facilities, that there will be more children in the neighborhood, and we want them to be safe. So I think that covers what I heard from the civics. Questions for Jordan or about the variances? Seeing none, I move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
I'll abstain just in case.
Okay, thank you, Tom. I'll send the SRF over.
Thank you very much.
And do you want to just mention the timeline just briefly?
Sure. Right now it's, all optimistic. Hypothetical, I should probably say. We are applying for low-income housing tax credits that would help fund the rental portion of the site in June. If those are awarded, we would be in a position to break ground on the rental phase, maybe in the 3rd quarter of next year. We'll have to see how we fare. It's a statewide competition for resources, so we'll have to see how we fare.
Thank you.
And then probably 18 to 20 months to construct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want to see if Louisa had anything? Does Louisa want to give any? Louisa Etsy, our zone attorney. She's here.
Does she want to speak?
Well, I don't know. Louisa?
Yes.
Did you want to swear in the commissioners that we added this year?
already-
Well, we did that,
Oh,
didn't we?
yeah,
We did.
yes.
Was everyone was here, right?
Last
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Anything, anything you want to add? We,
Yes, I'm here to remind folks about the community safety meeting that, Columbus City Attorney's Plan is gonna have. It's gonna be here in this library, and I think in fact, it might be in this same space that we're sharing, meeting with, so it will be happening on March 25th at 6 p.m. I will be here, so I hope to see many, of, the faces that, we're familiar with, and then new people as well. Come with your questions. There will be CPD as well, code enforcement. I'm trying to see if we can get 311 representative, but I'm not really positive on that, so I'm not sure how that can work out. But at the very least, we will have code enforcement and CPD here, as well as City Attorney Plan and myself and my boss, Steve Dunbar, and then our head of criminal prosecution, Melanie Tobias, will also be here as well. Thank you.
thanks. I think the only other thing for me, zoning, next month will be the third Saturday, which is before the third Tuesday next month. At the moment, we don't have any zoning applications, so TBD if we actually have zoning next month. I did want to add a zoning committee member from Southern Orchards, Danny Guglielmata, I think. She did a visit with us this last meeting, and she would like to join. I'd also like to officially replace Carly Maggio with Wayne Felvis as a voting member. Carly hasn't been able to attend for quite some time, and that's in the Schumacher district. So I move to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Abstentions? Okay, and then there were 6 demolition requests this month, I believe, 5 on Livingston for the stretch that we had previously approved between 9th and Washington, I believe. And then we had another one that was an emergency that was approved on Hosack or 4th, right? Somewhere around Hosack and 4th. Yeah, that was approved as an emergency order. And I think that's it for me.
Okay, thanks. Lily, public relations?
Madam Chair, I have no report for this time.
Okay. Public services?
Nothing to report.
All right. Claudia's not here. Aaron isn't here. Kathy, you have a written report, right?
I provided a written report. I don't really have anything specific
Okay.
to add.
Tom?
Nothing for me.
Okay.
We should probably form a committee, though.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Yeah, probably.
Well, and actually, based on this new document, there's a couple of things in here that the city wants us to consider.
Alright. I would picked everything up that they wanted last time, but we can add more.
Right, so we can talk about that.
Okay.
The only thing, and I'm really excited about this new handbook for the commissioners. I know Stephanie was there as well for the AC 101 course. It's a great handbook, and I'll just say that this would have been a great resource, 24 years ago. So better late than never. So thank you, Department of Neighborhoods. That's really all I have. Wayne, you want to give your report?
Yeah, just a couple of things. Just need the committee to. We've got which we discussed at the last meeting, the tote bags and the potato chips and swag. We're needing just $1,716.74 to purchase that. I've got the information here if anybody wants to have a quick look at it.
Sorry, how much was it?
In total, $1,716.74.
And we have currently 2,100 remaining in our
we have
current.
21. We have in the account. It is $2,102.65.
So, and the balance after that would be like what, 300 and
Some dollars, yeah.
some
No, we
dollars.
can reduce if the cameras are a bit more expensive. we'll just cut this number down.
So those are the two. You want to go ahead and talk about the cameras?
Hmm?
Do you want to go ahead and mention the cameras?
Oh yes, sorry, I thought the camera's on site. And also we're going to be purchasing 5 cameras for spotting fly tippers, the problems that we're having down further on the south side. They'll be around about, we're thinking $500, but we'll have, once we get them purchased, but it'll be no more than $500 for those. And that will spend basically all the money that we've got left for this year.
And Vanessa, you said those orders need to be placed by April.
And if I can,
10.
if I can have a meeting with you so we can go through that.
Yep. And then the last thing we need to add is a name tag, just one name tag.
Oh, one name tag, one there. Yeah. Fine.
Which I can't imagine
Okay,
is.
my buckets and pickers for the area.
That doesn't include those because, as we said last time, they're doubled in price. So which companies have actually requested them?
I'm not going through a list of names. We didn't do it before.
Well, how do we know where they're going? This 15 is a lot to go out.
No, it's not. If you look up and down, Allen Creek, there's more than 15 companies up and down that front, and I'm talking about the front buildings.
I think to date, the buckets and grabbers have only been provided to small businesses. We have not been providing them to larger businesses.
These are individual businesses.
Good.
And Parsons is not the only city block that has businesses.
No, but we also provided.
Because you gave Parsons 50. So don't talk to me about the number of buckets. And I want that in the minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
So we can either take the amount of money that we previously approved and we can buy as many buckets and grabbers as that will cover now, or we could move to expand the amount of money that's been allocated previously.
Or if we had a list of companies that if you could go around and say to the
No,
companies.
you didn't do that when you did the 50.
I do have a list of all the businesses on Parsons that were given buckets and grabbers.
You can pass it out or give it to us.
Yes, I have it, and I would be happy to share.
So if we had a list, we know probably could probably.
I'd move to just keep the amount of money and buy as many as that purchases and provide to them. It seems reasonable to me. Actually, we don't even need to move because we already allocated it.
What's that?
Except, so we are allocated this in November, maybe October.
It was in.
It was this fiscal year.
July or August. No, well, it wasn't in August because we didn't meet. So it had to be either July or September. Because it was still warm weather.
So
it
have
was hot weather.
we've approved that purchase of those additional buckets and
So we'll just deduct whatever there will be out of the.
all right. Because
money.
the balance that you shared earlier in your report did not include the buckets and the cleanup materials. Correct. All right. All right.
I'll give you the amount, and we'll just reduce the swag, and then when we get money next year,
we'll do that. Yeah.
So we will get and those will go to District 5. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. All right. All right. Very good. Is there anything else for the treasurer's report?
No, that's it. But can we? Can I
need
request?
Motions, right?
Yeah, I do. But can I just request maybe that moving forward, we have the names that the product is dropped off at. Could we put that into the?
Well, I think that's actually part of the the normal process. And I think it's outlined in the handbook to some degree, you know, the process of
So we'll
getting
know
bids,
where everything goes.
Getting bids, yeah, I mean, getting, you know, when you decide you wanna purchase something.
No, you're misunderstanding.
I'm sorry.
The bins that are going out.
Yes.
Can we put forward that in future, well, when they're given out, we have a list of which companies they went to?
Oh, I think Kathy has that information.
I have it for the Parsons, I don't have it for Lockbourne or Fairwood or wherever they went, the other group went, I don't know.
We can do that, yeah.
Okay.
For accountability, sure, absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, let's, before we do the district reports, I wanna give, let's, go ahead.
Did we have a
vote?
We didn't
I'm
have a
sorry.
vote on this
Okay,
yet.
let's do that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Sorry, I knew we had done that. You make the motion.
Right. I propose that this is accepted.
So
All
basically
those-
that we're gonna spend the balance of our budget for this current fiscal year.
On swag.
On the buckets and grabbers that were pre-approved, and then 5 cameras for monitoring illegal
Yeah,
dumping,
and
and
then-
then the balance in swag.
Yeah.
The balance would go to swag, okay, all right.
All those in favour?
Right. Opposed? Abstentions, it passes. Okay, very good.
Let's clarify, so what was the amount for the?
I've just actually just brought up the quote. This is when Stacy was helping us out after Catherine had moved on. The pickup tools were $15.10, and the buckets were $3.85. So $18.95 times 15, and there's no tax.
$18.95. So that full amount will be spent on buckets and grabbers.
May I have your attention, please? The library will be closing in 30 minutes.
For 5 cameras.
And then the balance will be spent on swag,
Or turn in Chromebooks
which
or
I've got the
laptops.
price
Please
on
do
it.
so now.
So that's
Again, the library will be closing in 30
$284.25.
minutes. Thank you.
$284.
Yeah.
All right.
And since we are keeping track of everything, the swag needs to also be listed for those.
Yeah, Lily always provides a list of events that the PR committee covers.
You know, it's funny, you all talk about all of this stuff you do, and I never hear about it or see it.
Well, we have a PR committee meeting. It meets the second Wednesday of each month.
All right. Before we do the district reports, Caitlin, did you want to share?
Sure, thank you.
You can let Latina speak. You can have Latina speak.
Thank you, Chair Griffin. 3 things from community development for all people this month. One, to let you know our warming center is coming to a close at the end of this month. We've been providing 24-hour shelter to an average of 60 folks, I would say, since December. So that was scheduled to come to a close as weather turns at the end of March. It's truly a delight and a privilege to have folks with us during that time. It doesn't hurt that church attendance goes up when people sleep there on Saturday night.
Did you, I mean, you were allocated, I think, for 40, but you had space for up to 50. Do you have any idea how many people you normally on average that you served?
Frankly, it averaged more than that. It was about 60. It changes night to night. It varies with weather.
Did you provide meals as well?
Dinners.
Dinner. You did
Yeah.
provide them dinner.
Yeah. And we have a normal flow of breakfasts on the weekends and some midweek meals as well. But that's just our normal hours.
Right.
And then I think Stowe and Open Shelter had some lunch.
I know that. Right.
Yeah. Stowe does meals Monday through Friday. We do Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
And Friday.
Okay. Thank you.
Then on Thursday is the 11th graduation of the Southside Neighborhood Leadership Academy. We have several alumni in the room here, and those that have graciously participated in various capacities. And so come congratulate our graduates, hear about their projects that they're doing, and part of launching them forward. So that's Thursday at the Reeve Avenue Center. Dinner is at 5:30, and the ceremony is at 6:30. And then Sunday is our next coffee house. So at 6 o'clock on Sunday, band plays, positive, upbeat music. There's light snacks and lots of dancing, and everyone would be welcome to that as well.
At the church?
Thank you.
Happy to receive any questions.
Any questions for Caitlin? Thank you. Sorry, what was her name again?
Latina? She's State Representative Humphrey.
State Representative Humphrey's here. Would you like to say a few words?
I had something to say, but it was just because I seen the chair looked at me. I actually just came today just to come. I just came from Livingston Avenue, so I said let me come on down the street. So I don't have anything as of right now. Am I missing anything?
I guess I will mention something for you. Bridgeway Academy had reached out to me wanting a letter of support from the area commission, but the deadline was before we met, so we weren't going to be able to take a vote. But I did agree that I personally would reach out to our state representative and also to our state senator, Herschel Craig, on their behalf. I also let a few other people know about their request. So maybe you could just talk a little bit about Bridgeway Academy.
Yes, so that's actually what I was thinking about saying. Okay, we're good. All right. So when Chairwoman Green reached out to me, let me back up. Every 2 years, the state of Ohio, the Ohio House of Representatives, and the Ohio Senate goes through a process called the Capital Budget Fund, essentially. And organizations in our district, such as nonprofits, Bridgeway Academy, et cetera, Community for New Direction, whatever, they'll reach out to us with capital requests. Maybe they need the ceiling to be redone, maybe they want to add on, et cetera. So they had reached out to me, what was about 2 months ago, and so I had met with them. They had asked for, I think, $2 million or something like that. As I shared with Ms. Green, I had prioritized them after I had met with them because they do really good work. The only concern, and it's not really even a concern because I think we worked through it, the only concern that I had at the time about Bridgeway Academy was not the service that they provide because it's state of the art. So I don't know if there's ever going to be opportunities where you all could tour or whatever, but it's a beautiful facility for folks with special abilities. But the only concern I did have, as I shared with Ms. Green, was that I didn't see a lot of our babies from our specific district that attended Bridgeway. And so that brought up, some concern for me. And so I circled back, I met with Bridgeway again, and then they let me know that it was something about the partnership with CCS, and they hadn't been able to meet or whatever. So I put them in contact together, and they're working with one another. So that's one of the concerns I had. However, fast forward to today, if you don't know about the capital budget process, lots of times the organizations come to us and they ask us for funding, but in addition to coming to us, they have to go to what we call the Columbus Partnership. It's a conglomerate of business owners from the region. That organization, they literally prioritize all the projects that have similar concerns in the region and in the county, and then they kind of decide how much they should get if they're prioritized. So basically what I wanted to share back with you is after I met with them today, they gave me a list of everything that they prioritize for our district. Bridgeway Academy is absolutely on their list. And I say all that to say, it's not always definite, but if the Columbus Partnership prioritizes a thing, then 9 times out of 10, the Ohio House of Representatives, the Ohio Senate, is going to approve that list. Now, sometimes there's some gray areas, it may happen, it may not happen, but I feel very strongly that they will be prioritized. But it's a wonderful organization, and again, if you guys get the opportunity to tour, is beautiful. But that was the update I was gonna give. Thank you.
Can you just, I think most of us probably already know, but can you just give us a little bit of information on what the Columbus Partnership is?
Yeah. So, and my definition is gonna be all jacked up, but it is basically I call it a conglomerate. It's a bunch of CEOs from nonprofits and things like that, and even corporate companies. I would argue it is basically how they explain it to us is that it's almost like a council. So they have like a chair and they have like a vice chair and all of that. All of the organizations who come to us and access their funding, in addition, go to the Columbus Partnership, right? And so the Columbus Partnership, after they have a conversation with them, they prioritize who should get funding from the capital budget fund. So, but essentially, to answer your question, it is, I mean, how I explain it, how I know it to be, it's a bunch of business owners with a whole bunch of power, money, all the things.
Right.
And they kind of, I mean, they really have decided the process for us. And sometimes that's a little frustrating, I'm gonna be honest,
Yes.
especially like my first term. I'm like, how do they get to decide what's important for our district? But once I figured out like who to connect folks with, you know, I start getting what I wanted once I figured out how to do it. But yes, to answer your question, it's a bunch of business owners. They come together and they decide the capital budget process. Now they wouldn't admit it the way I'm saying to you, but that's what happens.
And they have extremely strong connections with the General Assembly.
Exactly.
Especially the leadership.
Exactly, in the chair. So,
Right.
Finance.
Right.
So,
Okay,
yes.
what businesses, how do they go about allowing what businesses into the partnership?
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, that depth of it, that is not something I know. Because as I've gone through this process, it was my understanding that the Franklin County delegation, meaning every member of the Ohio House Democratic Caucus and Ohio Republican Caucus, would determine what happens for our own respective districts. There's only one Republican state representative in Franklin County, but that was my understanding of how it happens. What I realized is that the Columbus Partnership has a lot of power. So I cannot tell you how they're voted in, how they're selected. I'm not aware of that process.
Okay, you got a card.
Yes, but I know we also have your email, but Aaliyah has a card. Can you hand that to Ms. Grace, please?
I should also mention that, so it was Laura Reggie that actually reached out to me. Laura represented the solar farm that's being built next to Bridgeway Academy that we did the zoning for last year. And Laura said it's going well, and they hope to have ribbon cutting this spring. So she'll let us know when that happens.
Companies that came to our city.
Very good. Thank you. So we'll give the district reports. District 1?
Nothing to report.
District 2?
Nothing to report.
District 3?
We held our Southside Scholarship fundraiser at the Hay Hay, raised about $500, a little over $500 for the scholarship fund. That's also, with the growing of the fund, looking at supplying school supplies in addition to doing scholarship activities, but to give anyone who needs it additional school supplies. And portions outside that I guess we covered.
Great. District 4?
Nothing to report.
District 5?
We're working on our membership
Yeah, we are getting ready to host one of the spring tour bus, whatever they call these things, where they set up the tents and
Rise Up Club?
yeah. And then base egg hunt thing, which I may as well go and put Ted's thing into, theirs start around 2 o'clock. and you can get the information from Ted, but this is the flyer he had out. I also have a partnership, this Megan, Albright, asked me to pass these out, but there's not enough of them for each person to get. But it's, dealing with children. So I laid one out there in, on the library thing, and I didn't know if anyone else would want to pass, you know, to put it up in their location. You want one for yours?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You can put that up in our thing. So I'll put these up in the other libraries.
Okay, anything else? For District
The
5?
last, for the housing, well, the tax is, December, March 21st at 10, from 10 to 12:30, and that's at the Metropolitan Library, on South High Street. And then the very last one is, Tuesday, March 31st, from 8:30 to 4 at the Franklin County Government Office Tower Auditorium.
And this is for tax preparation?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. District 6, we received, we're gonna receive some beautification assistance from Nationwide Children's for our planter boxes. And, I'll just throw this out there, the Southeast Lions Club's, I think it's the 78th annual Easter egg hunt will take place on Saturday, April 4th at Schiller Park at 10 a.m.
Please, it is now 7:45.
They said they were gonna do all 4 rec centers this year. Are they still doing
That's
all
true,
4?
they are. I'm sorry, thank you for that correction.
So it should be Barrick, Schiller, Marion Franklin, and Driving Park.
Correct.
Wait, the Lions are gonna have
Again,
it?
the library will be closing
They're
in
coordinating
15
with
minutes.
the,
Thank you.
Recreation Center directors. So yes, there will be 5 or 4 altogether. Okay, District 8.
District 8, let's say our meeting is on the second Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. And
I didn't do it.
And
That's probably me.
we are getting response back from our 311 request that been put in maybe a couple years. Well, they wanted to be an active of what, so everything's going okay and well.
All right. Are there any public comments or announcements?
I do want to add, Monty mentioned the Rise Up Columbus. So the South Side will be hosting the first Rise Up in the city, and it'll be hosted at Fruit of the Spirit. The address is
1355 Freebills Avenue, that's my church.
May 7th, from 4:30 to 7:30.
Very good. All right. I move for adjournment.